Good evening to Dr. Norazila Binti and my fellow friends. Today, our presentation will, will be regarding ethical and social issues in information systems. Let me introduce you to my team. My team comprises of Suhashinee, K.Magasan, Lutfie Al-Husni, Fatin Nursyazana, and myself, Sharween Vinod. It begins with the table of content, which is why do contemporary information systems, technology, and the internet pose challenge to the protection of individual privacy and intellectual property? And 4.4, how have information systems affected laws for establishing accountability, liability, and the quality of everyday life? Okay, first we will be discussing on the ethical and social issues in information system. So I will begin with why do contemporary information systems, technology, and the internet pose challenge to the protection of individual privacy and intellectual property? There are many reasons behind it. And one of the reasons that we can talk about is actually the internet and other digital social websites uh, have been very much difficult to protect the intellectual property. Apart from that, it is also a feasible way for the data to be transmitted to any part of the world, and it is for free. And also, the data and information can also be copied and it may be distributed to the whole world. And this makes people to copy anything and to distribute anything they want to any part of the world. Apart from that, we are also facing patent challenges whereby inventions and innovations can be easily patented. For example, when we are talking about Samsung and the Apple iPhone, lately there was actually a news saying that Samsung uh, has been copying the patents of iPhone, and this is one of the challenges that can happen to contemporary information technology. Apart from that, copyright challenges. It is difficult in managing fair use without allowing consumers to widely distribute protected creations to others, as is done on peer-to-peer file sharing networks. So it is copyright challenges is something that it is very difficult to be controlled, and anyone can actually breach the copyrights by just going into the peer-to-peer file sharing networks. Apart from that, infringement of another person's IP address. It is becoming a trend where another person's IP address is being used by another unknown individual. And this is also one of the reasons that it is very difficult to be controlled or detected. This is all for my presentation. I will pass it over to Lutfie. Lutfie?
Okay, thank you, Sharween. I will continue the 4.3 also. One of the challenge to the protection of individual privacy and intellectual property is about to stop illegal copying and distributing. First, about music. Illegal file sharing become widespread that threaten the viability of music recording industry. Some of legitimate online music store such as we know the Jukes, Spotify and iTunes has expanded, so the illegal things was significantly declined. Apple iTunes legitimized paying for music and entertainment and create a closed environment which music could be not easily copied and distributed unless we pay on Apple device. From music, we go to books. Amazon also protect the rights of publisher and writers so the books cannot be downloaded illegally. Jump into streaming of internet radio, such as we know the Pandora and Spotify, also cannot be easily recorded on separate device. People want to hear need to pay a several amount, and actually it can guarantee the safety of user. Same with movies. Some of the popular platform to watch movie or drama is Netflix, Disney Plus, Hotstar, iFlix, and so on. If we download from an illegal website, it is possible that our device can get virus or spam that can damage the internal device. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or called the MCA, was implemented, a World Intellectual Property Organization treaty that makes it illegal to circumvent technology-based protection of copyrighted material. For the next slide, I will pass to Suhashinee.
Thank you, Lutfie. I'm going to present 4.4 how have an information system affected laws for establishing accountability, liability, and quality of the everyday life. Next slide. Computer-related liability problems. The software is similar to book, difficult to hold author, publisher responsible. In general, it is a very difficult to hold software producer liable for their software products that are considered to be like a book, regardless of the physical or economical harm that result. However, it's seen as part of machine that injures or harm the software producer and operator may be held liable for the damages. Next related problem at ATMs. A service provided to bank customers. If this service fails, customer will be inconvenienced and may be harmed economically. If they cannot access their fund in timely manner, should liability protection be extended to software publisher and operators of detective financial accounting and stimulation or marketing system. Other than that, the telephone system has not been held liable for the message transmitted because they are regulated common carriers. In return for them to pro video telephone service, they must provide access to all at reasonable rates and achieve acceptable reliability. Next slide. Okay, next, data quality and system error. No software programs perfect and will be ever error be made. Even the error have the low probability of occurring. System error are foreseeable and correctable only at great expenses. So great that pursuing this level of perfection is not feasible economically. For example, although software companies try to debug their production before releasing them to the marketplace, they knowing ship buggy product because the time and cost of fixing all minor errors will be prevent this from product forever being released. Three principles of resource of poor system performance are: first, software bug and errors; second, hardware or facility failure caused by natural or other causes; and number three, poor input and data quality. Lastly, the most common source of business system failure is data quality. Few companies routinely measure the quality of their data, but individual organizations report the data error rate ranging from 0.5 to 30%. Thank you. Next slide, I will pass to Shazana.
Okay, thank you, Suha. Now I will proceed for the next part, which is 4.4. The first one is big technology with concentrating economic and political power. Critics point out that consumer welfare is harmed in other ways than price, namely by preventing new, innovative companies from market access or surviving long enough to prosper as independent firms. Complaints and lawsuits originated by small startup firms alleging anti-competitive and unfair practices and concern about the abuse of personal privacy by big technology firms have led to a torrent of critical articles and several congressional investigations. Big technology firms are today the targets of stinging public criticism, legislative investigation, and regulatory action. Second, rapid of change, reduce response time to competition. Information systems have helped to create much more efficient national and international markets. Today's rapid moving global marketplace has reduced the normal social buffers that permitted business many years to adjust to competition. Time-based competition has an ugly side. The business you work for may not have enough time to respond to global competitors and may be wiped out in a year along with your job. So we stand the risk of developing a just-in-time society with just-in-time job and just-in-time workplaces, families, and vacation. The third one is maintaining boundaries, family, work, and leisure. The danger of ubiquitous computing, telecommunicating, nomad computing, mobile computing, and do anything anywhere computing environment is that it is actually coming true. The traditional boundaries that separate work from family and just plain leisure have been weakened. Even leisure time spent on the computer threatens this close social relationship. Extensive internet and cell phone use, even for entertainment or recreational purpose, take people away from their family and friends. Among middle school and teenage children, it can lead to harmful antisocial behavior, such as the recent upsurge in cyberbullying. Next one is dependence and vulnerability. With information system now as ubiquitous as the telephone system, it is startling to realize that there are no regulatory or standard setting forces in place as there are for telephone, electrical, radio, television, or other public utility technologies. The absence of standard and the criticality of some system application may eventually call for demand for national standard and perhaps regulatory oversight. The next one is computer crime and abuse. New technologies, including computer, create new opportunities for committing crime by creating new valuable items to steal, new ways to steal them, and new way to harm others. Computer crime is the commission of illegal act by using a computer or against a computer system. Then computer abuse is the commission of act involving a computer that may not be illegal but are considered unethical. The popularity of the internet, email, and mobile phone has turned from one form of computer abuse, spamming into a serious problem for both individuals and businesses. Next one is employment, trickle-down technology, and re-engineering job loss. Re-engineering work is typically hailed in the information system community as a major benefit of new information technology. It is much less frequently note that redesigning businesses process has caused millions of mid-level factory managers and clerical workers to lose their job. Some economists have sounded new alarm about information and computer technology threatening middle-class, white-collar jobs, in addition to blue-collar factory jobs. And next one is equity and access, increasing racial and social class cleavage. Several studies have found out low-income groups in advanced industrial society are less likely to have computer or online internet access, even though computer ownership and internet access have soared in the past 5 years. Although the gap in computer access is narrowing, higher income families in each ethnic group are still more likely to have some computers and broadband internet access than lower income family in the same group. Moreover, the children of higher income family are far more likely to use their internet access to pursue educational goals, whereas lower income children are much more likely to spend time on entertainment and games. This is called the time wasting gap. Next slide. This one is the health risk, RSI, CVS, and cognitive decline. A common occupational disease is repetitive stress injury, or RSI. RSI occurs when muscle groups are forced through repetitive action, often with high impact load, or tens of thousands of repetition under low impact loads. The incidence of RSI is estimated to affect as much as one-third of the labor force and accounts for one-third of all disability cases. The single largest source of RSI is computer keyboards. The most common kind of computer-related RSI is carpal tunnel syndrome, or CTS, in which pressure on the median nerve through the wrist bony structure, called the carpal tunnel, that can produce pain. The pressure is caused by constant repetition of keystroke. In a single shift, a word processor may perform 23,000 keystrokes. Symptoms of CTS include numbness, shooting pain, inability to grasp object, and tingling. million of workers have been diagnosed with CTS. It affects an estimated 3 to 6% of a workplace, of a workforce. Next. So this is the list of our reference. Next. So that's all from our group. Thank you.